Da 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 da. Wear a hoodie and jeans in 100-degree weather. What are you talking about over here? Good morning and welcome everybody to the Crypto Mining Show, your one-stop shop for all cryptocurrency news from the perspective of a cryptocurrency miner. I go by Blind Run on the internet. I was about to say in real life, and Matthew in real life. I bit my tongue yesterday. That seems to happen every once in a while in jiu-jitsu, so my S's are feeling a little funny, but that's okay. I got hip checked, basically. I've caught knees before, caught elbows before. I've never caught a hip to the chin, but that's what I caught to the chin yesterday, and it's kind of making things a little difficult. Today's stream's pretty fun. Of course, we found out yesterday that Tesla sold nearly 75% of its Bitcoin holdings. Well, we will be talking about that. In addition to that, they did not sell any of their Dogecoin. Tisk, tisk. We have the UK basically moving over to stable coins for a payment tool, which is extremely interesting. Not dissimilar to what other countries have done, albeit most of the other countries that have started moving into stable coins have some pretty poor economic dealings surrounding it. So maybe, of course, some of that's being influenced in the UK. We'll have to take a look at the article, though. We're also going to be talking about Vitalik Buterin discussing Ethereum's upcoming merge and surge at ECC in Paris. I did try to listen to as much of the core devs call, which is going on right now, as I could before going live myself. I did not get too much information out of it that we did not already know. For example, we know that the Goerli testnet is going to merge on August 11th. We are looking at as early as September 1st for the mainnet merge, and as late as September 19th for the mainnet merge. That is what I'm gathering from the call. No specific dates beyond that. So that news is out of the way now. There's nothing more to cover as far as that's concerned. We have an article discussing what P2P bridges are, peer-to-peer bridges. I think this is important because a lot of people have terminology frustrations within cryptocurrency, and I think covering this is really important, especially considering that it was just posted by CoinMarketCap, and it was written by the guys over at Komodo, and I think it's pretty cool. We have some development updates from Netapp, as well as some development updates from GetBlock, except today Netapp and GetBlock aren't actually in the same news article. They're both developing different things that don't have to do with each other, so they're a little bit different. And we had the core update for Dogecoin version 1.14.6 that launched yesterday. So we're going to be covering the changes that took place with that. Lots of cool stuff, in my humble opinion, going on. Way cooler than the headline, which is Musk selling Bitcoin. But, that is what people will click. Unfortunately, so we are going to cover that topic too. Let's get into it right after a word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Crypto.com. Crypto.com is my go-to centralized exchange for liquidating my crypto assets. With their Crypto.com Visa debit card, I can load up my mined Ethereum to pay for power and other operating costs quickly while earning up to 8% cash back. In addition to the Visa debit card, there are additional fiat options, including wire transfers, to easily receive your profits. Crypto.com also offers additional services, including trading and even staking, to earn additional revenue on your investments. Join 10 million plus users buying and selling 100 plus cryptocurrencies at true cost by using my affiliate link in the description for a $25 funding bonus. Or enter referral code SOAT at sign up for the same bonus. Remember, cryptocurrency investment comes with significant risks, so do your own research. And Crypto.com card is now only up to 5% cash back, not 8% cash back. For clarity, the script is a little out of date. Let's get into the first topic for today, which is Dogecoin Core 1.14.6. Let's pop into it. We had a little bit of a snafu with technical issues, but there we go. That should solve it right there. This is a new minor version release, including important security updates and changes to network efficiency. All Dogecoin users, miners, services, relay operators, and wallet users are strongly recommended to upgrade. A full description of all changes is available on their release notes. This release contains multiple security-related fixes. I'm going to make it easier to read by drinking some water there. The alert system has been removed and processing of alert messages has been disabled. The transaction download system has been made more reliable. The protocol implementation has been amended to reject buggy or malformed messages, and memory management in event of high network traffic or when connected to extremely slow peers has been improved. This release changes the recommended dust limit for all participants on the Dogecoin network from 1 Doge to 0.01 Doge. The full recommendation can be found in the documentation. Breaking changes the behavior of all dump wallet and backup wallet RPC methods to exclusively write to the directory specified by your dash backup directory or dir, and longer overwrite files. The maximum number of add node records that a node will track has been limited to 800. Here are some new features. A new RPC method, list stuck transactions, has been added to help wallet operators identify if any transactions are stuck, have not been mined, and are not in the mempool, and enable a resolution. This helps in cases where node local fee or dust policies change to prevent the node from sending out old transactions that got lost. Pruning configuration has been added to the UI to make it easier to save disk space for users of graphical wallet installations. A new RPC method, set max connections, has been introduced that enables wallet and node operators to change the maximum number of connections their node allows without needing to restart, allowing for more fine-grained control of the node's network capacities. The graph in the UI's traffic monitor has been significantly improved by keeping track of the traffic we see in the background and then rendering it on demand at any desired scale. A new RPC method, rescan, has been added to allow node operators to rescan the chain for wallet transactions from a certain height. This can help speed up a rescan process for keys that are known to be generated after a certain date or block height. A new endpoint has been added to the REST server to find the current best known block at a certain height without having to do RPC calls. This is useful for service implementations that need to track or query blocks. And so they have some translated updates, some RPC API changes. The verified chain RPC command no longer accepts negative values. Add node will now return error 32 when the address provided is too long. And get peer info provides 2 new fields per peer: address processed and address rate limited. So there you go as far as the update from Dogecoin. And I guess that's relevant because while, of course, Elon went ahead or Tesla specifically went ahead and sold 75% of their Bitcoin holdings, they did not sell any of their Dogecoin holdings. And we get an upgrade. Look at that. What if it's Elon that developed Dogecoin? Just joking. All right, let's get into the implementation of GetBlock.io Plasma. Now, this one's pretty cool. We heard about Plasma on the interview with GetBlock And we're kind of waiting on the official announcement, and we have an official announcement now. It was posted this morning around 7 a.m. is when he sent it over to me. And we have more information on it, right? So getblock.io Plasma sounds cool, doesn't it? But what exactly is it? In this article, they'll explain what getblock.io Plasma will be used for, some of the benefits of Plasma as it applies to mining on their smart pools, as well as our implementation plan for Plasma-based smart pools. Plasma is a scaling solution that uses data structures called AVL trees to efficiently compress large pieces of data and post them onto the blockchain. By leveraging smart contracts, Plasma can be used to create secure, transparent protocols that use data compression to increase speed and throughput. In the context of getblock.io, Plasma will be implemented in order to store the huge amounts of information required for the smart pool to function. The Plasma contracts are designed to hold thousands of miners at once while paying out hundreds within a single transaction. Now, this is important because obviously some of the things GetBlock learned with their smart pools, especially once Netapp was implemented in, is that with all the miners, they were having some payment processing issues and so on. So being able to scale that out with Plasma is kind of what resulted in those things they learned from that experience, right? And they also ensure the security of miner funds in a way that is completely transparent and on-chain. Implementation of Plasma will ensure readiness for what's to come to Ergo once the Ethereum merge is in place. What are the benefits of using Plasma for smart pools? Up to 20 times faster payouts for all pools on the Plasma contracts. A single payout transaction will now pay out 150 miners at once versus the old contracts, which was previously limited to 10 miners. That's a huge improvement, right? 15x there. Plasma pools that only mine ERG will no longer be required to go through the pre-processing phase. Miners of these pools will be paid out approximately 30 minutes quicker. Increased transparency and security of pool contracts, and the maximum number of miners per pool is increased to roughly 10,000 miners with further scalability improvements possible. Plasma benefits planned for the future releases. Block batching for payouts will be set at separate sizes for each pool. Miners will be able to withdraw their balance from the pool at any time. Neat. Pools may be linked together to share rewards or emissions. This allows for subpools to have multiple variations such as solo and a PPLNS pool. It also allows for pools to join hash rate for quicker block finds. User-created subpools will be possible. These pools will be customizable and will allow for any individual to combine their hashing power. Plasma will ensure these pools can be scaled with ease. And that's really, really neat. I know that like they have kind of talked about that with subpooling in the past, where essentially at some point you could create your own subpool. And let's say like I have a buddy and just us two, we have enough hash rate where we think we can, between our two farms, basically solo mine, but we want like a pool to manage the payouts so that it's fair for everyone and so on. In theory, you know, we could create a sub pool on GetBlock, just have us mining away together and getting our payments distributed via that sub pool. More complex pools are possible, for example, NFT-based rewards like Netapp Phase 3, which we've been talking about as well, and that'll be really interesting. Further scalability improvements will be implemented for even faster payouts. Starting with batch sizing, we expect to release the first of these updates to be available 1 to 2 weeks following the implementation of Plasma. So remember, in the interview, what we found out is for the Netapp Angels Phase 3 or the Netapp Phase 3, where the Netapp Angels come into play for additional rewards on Netapp, Plasma needed to happen first, right? So this was kind of in the timeline. Once this gets sorted, then they can start moving to Phase 3 for that. For initial launch, below is a phased approach we would like to share with the community, so we're going to get a better timeline. Our goal is to minimize disruption and set expectations on what is coming with this exciting feature. Phase 1 is the migration of the default ERG pool to Plasma. On Thursday, July 21st, which is today, all members of the default ERG pool on getblock.io will have their minimum payouts automatically set to 0.001. This will ensure all miners are paid out and that no balances are stored in the old contracts. Tomorrow, on Friday, July 22nd, once all the blocks from the default pool have been paid, we will pause the payout system. This will not affect mining or block fines, though the blocks API may not update properly until the process is complete. So what can you expect as a miner? Of course, you can expect, once again, some API issues on the front end for GetBlock if you continue to mine through this process. So keep that in mind. Then we will create the new Plasma-based smart pool using new contracts. Once the pool is created, the getblock.io Plasma pool will be set as the new default pool. All miners mining to the current default pool will be automatically switched over to the Plasma pool. Our UI will be updated to reflect all the changes related to the Plasma implementation. Following the steps above, implementation of the Plasma pool will be complete. Payouts will resume as normal, and miners on the default pool will enjoy the benefits of new contracts. We expect the duration of this implementation to be completed no later than Saturday, July 23rd. To reiterate, miners and submitted shares will not be impacted during this migration. Notifications will be made in their Discord, Telegram, and Twitter channels. Then they move on to phase 2, which is the solo pool. Same as above, but for solo mining. Timeline estimated between Saturday, July 23rd and Sunday, July 24th. Notifications will be made once again on their Discord, Telegram, and Twitter channels. Phase 3 is the token pools. That'll be your Neta and Comet pools. For example, all token pools with currently running emission contracts will stay on the standard contracts. Once a token-based subpool emissions runs out, it will be upgraded to the new Plasma contracts. All new pools on getblock.io will use the new Plasma contracts. Our next two pools will be Ergo Pad and a Neta BTC Phase 3. What to expect while the phases are being implemented. Payouts in certain parts of the API will be paused during the implementation. Mining will not be affected. After the implementation is complete, payouts will be resumed. What is the next step, what is the next step for getblock.io Plasma? Implementation of getblock.io Plasma is a monumental step in blockchain development, something that has never been implemented. Through our lessons learned, we want to ensure the functionality of Plasma is a mature and stable solution before expanding further. This will be monitored through our own diagnostics as well as community feedback. Once we achieve these milestones, our goal is to utilize Plasma to launch a full Layer 2 protocol, which will include a token built on Ergo. A Plasma token. The functionality of this protocol will support getblock.io with a multitude of projects and capabilities under development by getblock.io and its partners. We plan to have further announcements once the concrete timeline is defined. And they say, as always, thank you to the Ergo community and all of our supporters who have made this possible. As always, getblock.io Plasma is fully open source for the Ergo community and will continue to be so. Really, I'm pretty excited for this because it is, frankly, in my humble opinion, one of those things that GetBlock is doing that nobody else has done within the proof of work sphere. Just once again, GetBlock and Ergo doing things that, frankly, we've never seen in proof of work, right? We're seeing implementations of the DeFi just kind of coming into proof of work. We're seeing NFTs coming into proof of work. It's very awesome to see, especially when we're in some sort of obviously bear market and crypto winter. This type of development, basically, in my humble opinion, revolutionary types of development for proof of work coming into play. And I can't wait to see it all fully implemented and get more and more updates, and hopefully also some added, benefits to revenue when mining Ergo, which is always helpful too. Now, Neta BTC, which was the first token to basically pay additional rewards to people mining on smart pools, has the development update as well today on July 21st. This article will discuss their development update for a Netapp BTC protocol and related infrastructure. The rest of the article will explore what to expect and how to get involved with their community. So they say, welcome to the update, and let's get into it. This is going to discuss their progress on everything, including their core wrapping protocol, staking, and more. Over the last few months, their team has been preparing for their testnet launch on Ergo for Q3. They are excited to report that progress is coming along well, and they are still on track with this timeline. This week, their Vault team did these things. They added Ergo Tool and Ergo Dex libraries to their application's Docker container for Ergo transaction functionality through command line interfaces. They continued to work on integrating both minting and redeeming smart contracts for collateral management and transaction verification on their localized Dockerized environments. Let me get another sip of water. They prepared deployment of their in-house testing of the full wrapping protocol pipeline, and they finalized packages and install guidelines. The back-end version of their wrapping implementation is complete for V1, and they now are connecting the front end. They expect this implementation will take a few weeks, and then they will be prepared to launch their V1 or version 1 testnet. The Netapp wallet, they are still making progress on the Netapp wallet over the next few weeks. However, their development team is all hands on deck in preparation for launching a Netapp BTC V1 testnet on Ergo. It's interesting that Netapp BTC version 1 testnet will be on Ergo. That's pretty cool. So, mining with the Netapp BTC, and obviously this is big for this channel. The Netapp BTC Smart Pool with GetBlock.io has now been live for a few weeks. They recently extended Phase 2, where miners can earn a 10% increased rewards compared to just mining Ergo. They are currently working with GetBlock.io to implement Phase 3 of mining with a Netapp BTC. This is where holders of a Netapp Angels NFTs will see increased mining rewards. They expect it will take about 2 to 3 weeks to launch Phase 3 on Ergo mainnet. The smart pool currently has over 330 miners and a hash rate of 270 gigahash a second. Miners can join the Netapp BTC smart pool. Obviously, they have a hyperlink that you can check out in the description, but it's at getblock.io. Staking. They're excited to report Netapp staking smart contracts are fully complete. They have adjusted their approach from using Cardano serialization lib to Cardano transaction lib, or TX lib. This will make for more efficient staking experience. They are implementing the front end with contracts and then will continue testing the entire Netapp staking experience. Remember, Netapp is on Cardano from the user's perspective. They estimate this stage of testing the entire experience should begin next week. For Netapp staking contracts, they are setting up the servers to operate their back end. The staking contracts are complete and the front end is complete. Once the infrastructure is set for the staking API, they will need to connect it to the back end. They suspect this should take a little over a week, but they will have a stronger estimate in the coming days when the servers are up and running. They are also working on scripts for allowing liquidity providers to Netapp and Cardano pair on Miniswap to claim CTOSI. They are also preparing this ability for holders of a Netapp Angels on Cardano. Additionally, the script for airdropping Netapp to Netapp Angels holders is complete and in the testing stages. They will begin the first airdrops close to when Netapp staking is ready for implementation. So that's pretty much it from the Cardano side. And obviously they go on to just discuss basically, their final remarks. They did say keep an eye out for Catalyst Fund 9 proposal, and that will help ensure the long-term development and sustainability of their protocol. I think you can register to vote if you have some governance tokens, and there is some information on how to register for that. So What do we have? Once again, we have basically the first token that's supporting miners, also doing some great work here. And we will be seeing this very interesting implementation between NFTs and additional mining rewards on the blockchain. And that'll be a first for proof of work. Now, obviously, we talked about being very careful on Ergo auctions and buying fake angels. Definitely make sure that you're purchasing the correct angels and all of that goodness. And you can check out the video clip that we put up, I believe, day before yesterday for more information on that and checking all of the different minting addresses and so on. So be very careful. Someone is trying to scam right now. And I say trying, they have successfully scammed a few people. So let's talk about a peer-to-peer bridge. And let's get you guys updated on this, because I think it's important that we understand it. And some people may not fully understand what a peer-to-peer bridge is. So let's cover it. This is on the CoinMarketCap page in their glossary. A P2P bridge is a feature on a decentralized exchange, or DEX for short, that enables two users to swap the same cryptocurrency across two blockchain protocols without involving a third party. Obviously something very important to the principles of crypto. A P2P bridge is a feature on decentralized exchanges that enables two users to swap the same cryptocurrency across two blockchain protocols without involving a third party. P2P bridges support blockchain interoperability by enabling one-to-one peer-to-peer trading minus blockchain validation fees, i.e. gas fees, or platform transaction fees. For example, a bridge allows a trader to swap USDC on Ethereum blockchain for USDC on the BNB chain, or vice versa. In general, the main benefit of blockchain bridges is that they make it easier for users to move their crypto balances to a different blockchain. For example, many users who have found Ethereum network DeFi applications impractical due to high gas fees use bridges to move their cryptocurrencies to blockchains that have lower gas fees. This is not dissimilar than what you may see as a miner when you enable something like Polygon payouts on Ethermine, right? What you're doing is they're using a bridge in the background to go ahead and bridge over your ETH to wrap ETH on Polygon and then shooting that payment out to you to reduce those fees. That is what they do. And so this is very important to miners as well to understand how this works. Then once on another blockchain, it's possible for users to access various decentralized applications, some of which might only be accessible on that specific blockchain. Many bridges use automated market makers, AMMs, which rely upon liquidity pools. The trading process on AMM bridges is very different from P2P bridges. Liquidity providers, market makers, supply cryptocurrencies to a liquidity pool for a specific trading pair and earn interest from trading fees each time a user makes a trade. Traders take funds from the liquidity pool to fill their orders. The advantage of AMMs is the market takers typically don't have to worry about liquidity, which greatly reduces slippage problems. AMM liquidity pools have several known issues, however. For example, smart contract vulnerabilities make it possible for hackers to drain large pools of funds locked in liquidity pools, and also impermanent loss often leads to actualized net losses for market makers. In order to solve the issues of AMM bridges, P2P bridges like atomic DEX are powered in a different way. Peer-to-peer bridges use atomic swaps, a direct wallet-to-wallet trade between two peers, with a specifically designed smart contract for decentralized exchanges. Once an order is received, the exchange software connects the buyer and seller directly, allowing them to conduct the transaction through the bridge. Like traditional centralized exchanges, peer-to-peer bridges connect market makers and takers via order books. However, they have the added advantage of removing third parties from the trading process. Users can trade from their own non-custodial wallets, giving them true ownership of the funds before, during, and after they use a peer-to-peer bridge. The upside of peer-to-peer bridges is they tend to be more secure than AMM bridges and centralized exchanges. The downside is that most of these currently have lower trading volumes compared to AMM bridges or centralized exchanges. This may be why, for example, if you use something like the ZIL Core wallet to do some of these swaps, you'll notice that there is not always enough liquidity in them, or in it. Caden Stadelman is a blockchain developer and blah, blah, blah. That ends basically our article on what a peer-to-peer bridge is. And I hope that it gives you some more insight into what you're looking at and some of like basically how all of these things function. All right. So let's get into Vitalik Buterin discussing Ethereum's upcoming merge and surge. At the ETH in Paris, the co-founder of Ethereum Network spoke about its future roadmap on Thursday. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin spoke about the longer-term future of the network to attendees at the annual Ethereum Community Conference in Paris on Thursday. At the developer-focused conference, Buterin spoke about the upcoming merge in which Ethereum will make a full transition from proof of work to proof of stake. Discussing the merge's long-term and short-term outcomes, Buterin said, after the merge, you will be able to build an Ethereum client that does not even know the proof of work phase even happened. He also said that the network's roadmap includes the surge, which will increase scalability for rollups through sharding. So this is an interesting one. He also said that the network's roadmap, so it's a roadmap, the surge will increase scalability for rollups through sharding. So this is coming back into the conversation. This is good news for Ethereum, in my humble opinion, but I don't know what timing that will be on that roadmap. He says, at the end of this roadmap, Ethereum will be a much more scalable system. By the end, Ethereum will be able to process 100,000 transactions per second. He added that in terms of Ethereum's overall network development, the protocol will be 55% complete once they finish the merge. Thus, there is much more work for developers ahead. For now, Buterin outlined that the deep changes to the network will include changes to its monetary policy and token issuance, its security model, and its transaction inclusion process. He noted pursuing these decentralized goals is difficult because of the complexity of the network and how quickly it is changing. But he added, everyone has been looking forward to these upgrades to the network for a long time. Not everyone. I mean, obviously, there's a huge market of miners that have not been looking forward to all of these upgrades for a long time. Just to be clear, it's not everyone. Let's be fair, right? He noted that pursuing these decentralized goals is difficult because of complexity of the network and how quickly it is changing, right? Who here wants to cancel proof of stake? He asked. Buterin asked the audience. Not one hand went up. Yeah, because they're all in Paris and none of them are mining. Try that in Texas. Try that in Austin, Texas. Just go down to Austin, Texas, Mr. Vitalik, my balls. Have everybody raise their hands and ask that same question again. I mean, obviously, you know your audience. If you're in Paris, you know there's not a lot of miners. The power consumption's super expensive and blah, blah, blah. And also, you know, they paid to go to an Ethereum conference, which is a whole other thing in and of itself. That'd be like me, basically, that'd be like me setting up a Son of a Tech conference, charging people money to get in, and then being like, all right, everybody here, raise your hand that thinks that the channel is terrible, right? Like, that doesn't work, right? That's not an unbiased survey. Even if you want to, we're not going to cancel it, he quipped. Even if you want to. We're not going to cancel it. Even if you want to, we're not going to cancel it. At last year's ETH, Buterin gave a talk on things that matter outside of DeFi and said that Ethereum had to expand beyond DeFi. Thursday appeared to be the busiest day for the conference, with many attendees saying they thought that the final day of the conference would be best due to Buterein's talk. Obviously, that's what people are there for. So, as far as the merge happening, the confidence within the developers, it's looking really strong. I keep getting, I was watching Bitsby Trippin yesterday. He's still projecting October by the earliest. First half of 2023 is what his projection is. I'm on the other side of that fence, man, especially after listening to the dev call earlier this morning, what I could get into before we started the live stream. To me, it sounds like they're ready to go. If anything, we're going to have an earlier merge time. Is it possible something fails and then they push it back? Yes. We'll know more on what date, August 11th, with the Goerli testnet merge. That we'll have a better idea because there's a lot more built on that particular testnet to know if there's something glaring that will cause it to be delayed. If not, I'm looking like at earliest, like they were just talking about on the dev call, September 1st, latest September 19th. And that is what I'm seeing as far as all of this is concerned. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section and the live stream as well. I think as miners, we should be prepared for that very, very real consideration here. Now in the UK, stable coins are becoming a payment tool, with regulation being worked out right now. This is very interesting. Why is this interesting? Well, obviously we had the euro weaken, and now we have a 1-to-1 trading price with the dollar, that sort of thing, right? So why is all this happening? Stablecoins backed by fiat currencies will be considered as a form of payment as regulators in the United Kingdom introduced new rules governing its use to the country's parliament on Wednesday. The long-awaited Financial Services and Markets Bill will have the staunch backer in no other than the UK Finance Minister himself, Nadhim Zahawi. I'm trying, guys. One of the aims of the bill is to capitalize on the benefits of Brexit and restructure the financial services industry in the United Kingdom. The law is anticipated to assist the nation in developing a more competitive financial services sector post-Brexit. In addition to providing funds to those in need and ensuring access to finances in rural regions, the measure intends to combat other types of cryptocurrency theft. The British government has previously acknowledged that digital assets will play a role in the nation's post-Brexit economic competitiveness strategy. In April, the UK Treasury unveiled a series of initiatives aimed at transforming the nation into a global cryptocurrency center. The announcement promised new laws that would allow users to utilize stablecoins with confidence as a payment method. The proposed law is in response to the Treasury's pledge to explore measures to examine the legal status of DAOs and to develop a market infrastructure environment for crypto entrepreneurs in 2023. The announcement is also consistent with Prince Charles's speech to the British Parliament on May 10th, which highlighted the upcoming legislative agenda of the British government. Prince Charles declared on behalf of the Queen that the government will introduce new legislation to improve Britain's financial services industry and ensure that it acts in the best interest of all communities. Two of the proposed bills mentioned cryptocurrency directly. In 2021, the majority of cryptocurrency holders in the UK, excluding Northern Ireland, held Bitcoin in addition to other coins. In this regard, the presence of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin at the top of the list is relatively predictable. Meanwhile, Britain has already showed interest in becoming a global crypto destination. Yet, the recent resignations of crypto advocates, Finance Minister Rishi Sunak and top Treasury Officer John Glenn, have had a moderate effect on the plans. In fact, Sunak has pledged to create stablecoins as a payment method. Obviously, if we look at all of this objectively, we kind of zoom out on it, right? I think that this does have some relation to, the outside macroeconomic factors And being able to allow for the use of stable coins, especially as a payment system to the public, is going to allow them to have a lot more, stable of an economy at the end of the day. We saw, like, for example, in Argentina here recently, just going back like a couple weeks, where they had the largest trade volume of stable coins on cryptocurrency exchanges as their currency began to basically become worthless. And it's interesting to look at it from that perspective and say, well, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't want to admit that cryptocurrency is to an extent changing the way people interact with money on a global platform, but it really is. Like, as soon as you start seeing stuff like this, the Argentina problem, we can even go back to the 2017 Venezuelan dollar issue and Digibyte. All this stuff does seem to, at the end of the day, prove out to help basically different countries in economic crises. Does that mean that the UK is going to suffer an economic crisis? No, but if we start seeing record high trading for stable coins over there, especially if they're stable coins tied to the US dollar, then I'd start asking questions, right? Tesla sold $936 million worth of Bitcoin in the second quarter, though. And this is pretty shocking news. Obviously, Elon Musk back here, we got him on this little poster here, has been kind of that pumper and dumper, taking over, this current bull run from John McAfee, let me say that right, from the previous bull run. He's kind of taken his slot in all of this, and his main focus has been Bitcoin and Dogecoin, and obviously Tesla, his main baby. Why did all this happen? I mean, obviously it's going to be a cash flow issue, but let's get the details. The price of Bitcoin fell about 1.7% following the news, but regained its losses after CEO Elon Musk said Tesla was open to boosting its Bitcoin exposure in the future. Electric car maker Tesla sold $936 million worth of Bitcoin, or 75% of its holdings, in the second quarter, the company reported Wednesday in its earnings report. CEO Elon Musk said during Tesla's earnings call that the company sold the majority of its Bitcoin to maximize its cash position. I can't judge here because I had a poor position with not pulling out my cash position at the right time, but at least I was mining it. At least I didn't just buy at the top and then just sell it for nothing. Like, that's crazy. All right. Given the uncertainty of the COVID lockdowns in China, he added, however, that Tesla is open to boosting its Bitcoin exposure in the future, and this should not be taken as some verdict on Bitcoin. Musk also said Tesla had not sold any of its Dogecoin. A little bit of favoritism there for that little old Doge. The price of Bitcoin fell about 1.7% to $23,300 immediately following the release of the earnings report, but rebounded to its previous levels after Musk made his comments on the earnings call. And then today, as more people find out, fell below 23,000, as right now it's sitting at 22,578. Tesla ended the second quarter with just $218 million in Bitcoin, down from $1.26 billion in the previous 3 quarters. The company held about 42,000 Bitcoin heading into the quarter, so if it sold 75% of that amount for $936 million, that would equate to an average selling price of about $29,000 per Bitcoin. Bitcoin ended the second quarter at a price of about $18,700, meaning Tesla avoided a substantial impairment charge on its holdings by selling earlier in the quarter. Tesla announced in February of 2021 it had purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, a move that caused the price of Bitcoin to surge. Later in the first quarter, the company trimmed its Bitcoin position by 10%, a sale that boosted that quarter's earnings by $272 million. It had not bought or sold any more Bitcoin until the most recent announcement. The company began accepting Bitcoin as a payment for its vehicles in March of last year, but Musk reversed that decision about 6 weeks later, citing concerns about the environmental impact of mining Bitcoin, which is just a poor sight. I think also, I don't necessarily believe that. I think there's probably other ramifications as far as taxation and obviously probably a lot of other regulation issues that go into big purchases with Bitcoin that were probably more the reason why. What those exactly were, I'm not too clear on, but that's what my assumption would be. Overall, for the second quarter, Tesla reported adjusted earnings per share of $2.27, beating the consensus of analyst estimates reported to fact sheet of $1.81 a share on revenue of $16.9 billion, ahead of $16.5 billion estimate. Shares of Tesla were rising 0.7% to 746.78 in after-hours trading. A company call with analysts is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So, obviously, what we saw here is Mr. Elon Musk and Tesla selling off 75% of their Bitcoin, but they did so a while ago. In fact, probably causing the dump that was down to about 18,000 because they sold it, as far as my understanding is, before that. So, as far as it being priced into the market already, the actual act of selling the Bitcoin has been priced into the market already. The question was, will his influence when that is made public affect the price of Bitcoin? And that does obviously mean something. We did see it here just affected a little bit. It's down below 23,000 now. Is it purely because of this news? Possibly. It's hard to tell exactly, but of course, public sentiment surrounding cryptocurrency is very strong, especially as of late with the big swings up and down between 18,000 and 22,000. Now, this apparently did have some more interesting news surrounding it because Tesla's latest earnings report likely undermines the $258 billion Dogecoin lawsuit and proves Elon Musk diamond hands when it comes to the meme coin. So apparently this goes even further because while they sold Bitcoin, they didn't sell any Dogecoin. And I think that's important because here's the thing. The thing is that Musk and Tesla, they're in the middle of a lawsuit. So selling the Bitcoin they can get away with, but I think selling the Dogecoin could put them into a legal pickle, right? And so when we say Musk isn't selling Dogecoin because he believes in Dogecoin over Bitcoin, I don't necessarily think that is true, right? And let's get into that, right? So disgruntled Dogecoin investors filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk back in June, demanding the entirety of the CEO of Tesla's net worth for allegedly running a pyramid scheme. While the lawsuit already had only a slim chance of succeeding, Tesla's latest earnings report has further undermined the plaintiff's position. Excuse me. All right, so as we noted yesterday while covering Tesla's earnings release, the EV giant sold about 75% of its Bitcoin in Q2 of 22, netting $963 million in the process. While clarifying the impetus behind the sale, Elon Musk had identified the need for increased liquidity arising from uncertainty around COVID-induced lockdowns in China. Critically, Elon Musk noted that Tesla might add to its existing Bitcoin position in the future and that the company still holds all of its Dogecoin stash. The last part of the above-mentioned qualifier is of the utmost importance, vice versa the multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Elon Musk. Let's delve deeper. The lawsuit alleges that Elon Musk ran a pyramid scheme in relation to Dogecoin, recruiting his sizable social media heft and the financial prowess of Tesla and SpaceX to aid him in this endeavor. Bear in mind that over the past few months, Elon Musk has employed a variety of tactics to endorse Dogecoin, ranging from changing his Twitter profile picture to one that showcased a Doge-related meme, to tweeting Doge supporting policies such as Tesla's acceptance of the meme coin as a valid payment method for merchandise on its official website. And recently, Musk even exhorted McDonald's to start accepting Dogecoin offering the inducement to consume a Happy Meal on live TV. Most memorably, Dogecoin had formed a new all-time high in the run-up to Elon's Saturday Night Live appearance, only to tank thereafter when Musk termed the cryptocurrency a hustle. However, the legal bar to prove a pyramid scheme is much more stringent, often requiring promises of future returns as a consideration. Regardless of his underlying motive behind endorsing Bitcoin or Dogecoin, Elon Musk has been savvy enough to never allude to the future returns in any shape or form. In fact, Musk has gone out of his way to encourage investors to look at physical forms of investment. This brings us to the crux of the matter. A pyramid scheme depends on a very high turnover, with earlier investors exiting the enterprise by utilizing the liquidity provided by newer ones. Since Tesla continues to hold all of its Dogecoin stash, it would be very difficult for the litigants to legally prove malfeasance on the part of Elon Musk. Elon Musk's tweet in May of 2021 proclaimed that Tesla had diamond hands. While that is no longer true for Bitcoin, the claim still holds for Dogecoin. Obviously, no diamond hands here. This is just legal strategy, in my humble opinion. So it would look really, really bad right now in the middle of a lawsuit to dump all the Dogecoin that they hold. So I don't think that this is a Bitcoin versus Dogecoin thing. From that perspective, all Dogecoin is at the end of the day is just a no supply cap version of Bitcoin. That's really what it is. Like, as far as processing transactions, they're both ASIC mineable. As far as the code, they're very similar. The big thing being, like I said, just the fact that it is a no supply cap. Let's take a look at mining profitability for the day on my farm right after a word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Crypto.com. Crypto.com is my go-to centralized exchange for liquidating my crypto assets. With their Crypto.com Visa debit card, I can load up my mined Ethereum to pay for power and other operating costs quickly while earning up to 8% cash back. In addition to the Visa debit card, there are additional fiat options, including wire transfers, to easily receive your profits. Crypto.com also offers additional services, including trading and even staking, to earn additional revenue on your investments. Join 10 million plus users buying and selling 100 plus cryptocurrencies at true cost by using my affiliate link in the description for a $25 funding bonus. Or enter referral code SOAT at sign up for the same bonus. Remember, cryptocurrency investment comes with significant risks, so do your own research. Remember, guys, it's up to 5% cash back now, and I really need to update that. I am working extremely hard. I know it's hard to see it sometimes if you guys are just watching YouTube, but I am going like 120% right now. So bear with me as I try to get all of it worked out. A lot of it I want to slow down on. I really want to get some more improvements to this channel. Specifically the live show, I really want to up the quality and everything for. Part of that's just time consuming. You don't even want to see like all over here. There's just, just all over the floor. It's bad, but I'm also trying to upgrade an entire mining farm to new cases all by myself. But I am getting some help this weekend, I think, hopefully. But that aside, mining farm's doing good. We're doing good. Everything is honky dory. It's nice. It's feeling good. We are, I have one worker offline. I'll go fix it later, but I'm not really that worried about it. We're staying over 5 gigahash a second in the heat of the summer. I actually have all my 5700s down to 41 megahash a second. I took them down, right? Okay. So we're keeping them nice and cool, but they're also staying on reliably. I am proud of the fact that we are running 130 Fahrenheit ambient temperatures and over 5 gigahash in 1500 square foot. I'm pretty proud of it. We're getting there. And of course, Octominer is a big help here as well. We do have a lot more rigs to be throwing into Octominers. But that being said, at 5 gigahash a second, we did $117 yesterday at 0.07 ETH. Feeling pretty good about that number. Of course, I am running into, and if you guys aren't on the locals chat, I'm running into power company issues in Texas. And apparently, this is everywhere. And it really doesn't matter what your power rate is, because in Texas, ERCOT is basically passing through all the utility companies additional charges. So even no matter what your rate is, let's say your rate's 5 cents a kilowatt hour like mine in the summer, and you have a delivery charge of like maybe another cent, which is what mine is, for example, and you're supposed to be paying 6 cents a kilowatt hour plus the taxes or whatever. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they are passing through a fee that you can't even calculate yourself, and you have no idea how much it costs. They won't tell you how much it costs or why it costs that, and they just slam you with it. So my particular company, power company, has put it under like basically a recovery fee for the Texas winter storms. To give you an idea, I wasn't even a customer of this particular company during the winter storms. Now, that being said, I was in Texas, so there is that. And apparently it doesn't matter because it's just across all of the power companies or major power companies in Texas. And we ended up now for this past bill, I was charged on the recovery fee basically 2.5 times, something like that, of my normal cost. So my electric bill, just the charges for power, not delivery, was $654, which is fine. That's what I was expecting. Usually it'll come out to around like, $900 or something like that after like everything. Just the recovery fee was $985. So just the recovery fee, if I calculated that out per usage, we used 13,100 kilowatts, 13,110 like kilowatt hours or whatever is what we used. So if that was the price, right? 130,000. Yeah. Anyways, we used a lot. It is what it is. But if we calculated it out, I did the math, and just that charge was an additional 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So at this point, I'm paying nearly 15 cents per kilowatt hour in Texas, even though my contract rates are supposed to be lower. And when you call the power company and you ask for, well, where do you get these rates from? They will tell you it's variable. It changes month to month. They can't determine it. So basically they're able to just rob you blind. I even told them, I was like, this is going to put me out of business. Like I have to know what it is. I need to know. And I'm supposed to be getting a call back today. I was supposed to get one back either yesterday or today at some point. I'll let you guys know where it's coming from. But if you're in Texas and you're hitting these similar issues, I feel you. I don't know what to do exactly about it. Luckily, 15 cents a kilowatt hour is still profitable, but not much. Right now, I have the rent to cover too, which means I'm in the red as far as this month goes. But we are getting better returns right now for the time being. But once this moves to proof of stake and the merge happens, there's not significant price recovery and so on, I'm in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to try to figure it out. My goal is to not sell any equipment, not sell any crypto, still try to figure out other ways to pay for it. But frankly, I think like I may be going under as far as the farm goes at this point. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do. As far as the YouTube channel goes too, like obviously with the lower interest in crypto, Plus, just I've been trying really, really hard on the YouTube channel to outwork it. It doesn't seem to be working. I've been asking for guidance from y'all. So if you want to tweet at me and give me kind of any more information on the types of content you're looking for, that's great. Now, I do know the mining farm tour stuff is like things that you guys have been saying you want. We're doing a lot more of that. But, even if I look at that objectively, I think that video for the mining farm tour yesterday did like 1,000 views. So that doesn't seem to actually be the case if we're looking at it completely objectively and what gets clicks and what doesn't. But that's full transparency where I'm at. I am extremely stressed right now, but you don't get the smoke without the fire, right? So, overall, like a little bit of pain feels good no matter what, because it just means you get stronger at the end of the day. It just can be extremely uncomfortable while you work through it. That being said, I'm also still mining some Bitcoin Cash, primarily just to test the Antminer S10 that we'll have a review for. I think we're about a week out from this review. I'm trying one more thing this week. I'll be adding some more fans to it to see if we can get better hash rates. Currently, I have it turned down to 20 terahash a second. It bounces, between, I think it went really low here last night when it got really peak temperatures though. But for the most part, it sticks between, 20 terahash and 24 terahash. It's always going to be bumping around. I'm going to see if we can get better cooling on it and therefore upgrade the overclocks and whatnot, and then get the review out for you guys on this. I'm also trying to get a hold of an S19 as well for review. And all of this is through Coastal Crypto. So we will be having a giveaway for the S10 as well, in partnership with Coastal Crypto on sonofatech.locals.com. So if you're not a supporter over there and you want to support the channel and have opportunities to enter giveaways, definitely check that out. If you're on coastalcrypto.com, they are kind enough to offer a SOAT promotional code. SOAT will get you 5% off, which is pretty hefty on some of these units, a pretty hefty discount. So make sure you go ahead and utilize that. Let's go ahead and check out what to mine and get in our 3090 now, and 10 cents a kilowatt hour. ZIL hash 110, Kapow 60, ProgPow 60, Firo 60, calculate out. And what we're looking at is Ethereum in first place at $274 in revenue and $1.98 a day after power. Neoxa at $256 a day in revenue and $1.77 a day after power. Ravencoin $255 a day in revenue and $1.76 after power. Cero $242 a day in revenue and $1.62 a day after power. Firo at $229 a day in revenue and $1.54 a day after power. Conflux $215 a day in revenue and $1.36 a day after power. Ethereum Classic $208 a day in revenue and $1.31 a day after power. Flux at $1.77 a day in revenue and $1.07 a day after power. And Z Classic $1.77 a day in revenue and $1.07 a day after power. And Ergo all the way down here at $1.60 a day in revenue and 97 cents a day after power. Let's look at the hash rates. Neoxa hash rates have dropped off. It looks like down to 222 gigahash a second. Let's take a look at Ravencoin, which is at 2.29 terahash a second. No changes there. The Big Daddy Bitcoin, what are we looking at? We're seeing these little dips. I was pointing these out to you guys the other day. It looks like we're having brief shutoffs in hash rate, where we go from essentially like 220 exahash a second, and then we lose about 20 exahash a second. It goes down to 200 exahash a second, and you see these little blips. I am not certain, but I think this has to do with summer temperatures and the buyback. This is one thing I was really complaining about as a smaller miner that's very frustrating, is that the Bitcoin miners that are coming in are spending so much money with these electric companies that Texas has been able to refresh the grid. And that's awesome. So they found a new revenue to refresh the grid. They've made up all their losses from the crypto winter thanks to Bitcoin miners. But the smaller guys are getting hit with these fees still that are just destroying them. And meanwhile, they're paying the big Bitcoin miners to shut off when they shut off. And I've been trying to figure out how to get that benefit. I can't figure it out, but my assumption here is that the summer, where these little blips down are coming from miners shutting off for certain periods, because they're very short. You can kind of see them. The dip offs are like very short, and then they pop back up. I think that has to do with the incentives that Bitcoin miners are getting to shut off, even here in Texas. So they also get paid, 2 to 3 cents a kilowatt hour while they're turned off. Meanwhile, they're like, we can't even tell you where these fees are coming from if you're big at all. So we're small. Frustrating. We'll figure it out, though. We will figure it out. Ethereum at 951 terahash a second. The hash rate has been steadily climbing with the profitability going back up. I guess people are turning their rigs back on. Ethereum Classic was usually at 24 terahash a second, but with its recent pump, it's up 2 terahash a second to 26 terahash a second. Let's take a look at Flux, which is at 1 mega solution a second. It's still sitting right at 1 mega solution a second. And then let's take a look at Ergo. Ergo is at 10.5 terahash a second. So there you go. It's down right now, and the difficulty is down. So let's get into ASIC miner profitability. I want to thank you guys for the super chat stickers. Boosting the algorithm is what I'm told. Antminer L7 still in first place, still at $24 a day. The KD6 at $20.17 a day, and the KD5 at $12.72 a day. What would be really, really interesting is if you could get the KD6 and the L7 at the same price and run them for the next 3 years and see which one comes out on top. That's pretty hefty investment, though. Scrolling down, we have the S19 Pro at $4.36 a day. Of course, you can get a little bit more with the custom firmware. Make sure you take that into account, and hopefully I'll be able to test that for you guys and let you know how that is going once I get one on hand. All right, so let's get into questions and answers. I was trying to get the affiliate up here for you guys because I need this affiliate link, but the login button's not working for me for whatever reason. I don't know why. Yeah, we'll figure it out later, but I need to get the affiliate link up for you guys. But promo code SOAT will function for you guys too. All right, so super chat's never required first to be answered, so thank you guys for that, because that's the easiest to read. Tagging at Son of a Tech, the full name. We'll change it. We have a huge super chat from the Joge. Thank you, good sir, for the $99.99 super chat. It says, always great information. Got to support one another. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it immensely, especially right now. And Crypto Rast says, times are hard. Consider supporting me too. And then Forever Metalhead with the 99-cent super chat, and Ted Park with the 99-cent super chat, boosting it. Thank you very much to the Joge. I appreciate it a ton. We have Hugo Down, who's been a member for 7 months now. Thank you for that, good sir. Let's take a look at the questions that we got going on. Black Cat Crypto says, at Son of a Tech Elon, Musk and Tesla drive me nuts. And Village BC says, at Son of a Tech, Mini Doge Pro is my ticket to financial freedom or something when I'm maybe possibly buy one or two. The Mini Doge, I don't know is going to get you anywhere. The L7's really where you want to be at the end of the day, in my humble opinion. I prefer Pi. Thanks for the 99-cent super chat, boosting that algorithm. And Amigos PC, thanks for the $4.99 super sticker, boosting that algorithm. Greza says, at Son of a Tech, the email I sent shows how to increase your mining revenue by 20%. I'm not getting all these emails apparently because I have been reading them and I don't know exactly what you're talking about as far as that is considered or concerned, but I'll try to look through it again. It maybe is getting caught in the spam filter. Blue Dragon Mining says, at Son of a Tech, if you can't resolve the power cost issue, will you be able to get out of your lease because of this? I'll have to talk to them about that. I do not know if I can actually get out of the lease or if I just shut it down move all of the studio equipment out of there and run the YouTube channel out of there, which is a possibility, because then we would still have access to big power for testing equipment and so on. And no matter what, you know, the goal isn't to just completely shut down. The goal is to figure out how to survive and then let you guys know how I survived, right? Like, that's the goal. I just don't know exactly how to do it. Obviously, like, I got to lean on YouTube for this, but it would be similar to leaning on your day job, in my humble opinion, right? So you would lean on your day job, try to keep the farm running and stack as much sats as possible, would be kind of the idea behind it. CryptoRaz says, Ask Tech, what do you think of Kadena as a layer 1 proof of work network? I've never heard your thoughts on it. I don't have many thoughts on it because I don't have enough experience with it, especially from the layer 1. I know that, like, mining, it's a little tricky the way you get paid out, and I know they're more about interoperability than they are about anything else. So those are the few things that I know. Anytime I see a mining rig make that kind of money, though, I have questions and concerns, especially early on when they were selling for like 60K a pop. It didn't seem like a good idea because I felt like it could end up in a very poor position, which they have, right? Like, if you invested $60,000 in one of those miners like a KD6, and you're sitting on that right now making $20 a day, making less than L7, you know, I'd be pretty frustrated personally, right? Alex Fletcher says, €8.99. Thank you, good sir, for the super chat. Says, don't give up. Still the most regular source of good information. And we'll be doing the daily show no matter what through May of next year. Period. End of story. I just don't, maybe times change, but that would be about it if I just have to pick up something for extra revenue. Dragon Audio says, at Tech OnlyFans. I tried that and, you know, it didn't get a lot of clicks. Ted Park says, at Tech, how long does it take you to repaste at 3090? Maybe 30 minutes, about somewhere around there. Now, we do have a huge video. I'm excited to bring it to y'all. Now, I know other people have done it, but we are going to be getting an ultrasonic cleaner in here. I think next week. So we'll have an ultrasonic cleaner. We're going over, I'll be testing, obviously, the cleaning process. We'll be going over the cleaning process and the refurb process of cards on that particular that method, and then getting you guys up to date on how that functions. So it's the UK pound. Sorry, Brexit. My bad. I'll get it, bro. I'll get it. Look, you guys are changing your monetary policy over there all the time. I don't know what's going on with y'all's funny money. EJ says, that's Tech. I know we were talking about pools and your issues with Crazy Pool. Did you change pools? I have not changed pools. We just showed it. We did $117 yesterday on Crazy Pool. So no, I haven't changed pools. I'm considering it. And I'm considering going with basically something along the lines of Hivon for a more steady income, but I'm not really sure. CryptoRaz says, that's Tech, God forbid, but if you ever have to sell some equipment, we will change. Will we have a chance to grab some of it? I probably am not going to sell any equipment. No, it's just not going to happen. I'll work. Look, I'm pretty good at working. Like, even on YouTube, just to give you guys an idea, like, between YouTube and the farm, I mean, like, this whole week I've been working, you know, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Like, I have no problem doing that. So if that just means I scale back on the YouTube and I work an 8-hour shift somewhere, then I would sit back and work an 8-hour shift. But I'm not selling any equipment. Not happening. The villain in this game, thanks for the $10 super chat, just said, just wanted to mention Raptor Hash, new pool where you can mine several coins and just get just Raptorium. Still beta, but working great. Check out their Discord. Interesting. I don't know that I want Raptorium, though. I mean, I know that they doxed themselves and incorporated, so I guess that makes sense, and you'll get a price pump out of it. But, I mean, why? why they do that. Hugo Down, thanks for the $10 super chat, says, have you tried your 3090s in the 8 by Octominer yet? Yep, and that vlog should be out today or tomorrow on the YouTube channel with the results. Now, they're not 8 3090s in a single by 8. They're 4 3090s in 2 by 8s. So that is the recommended configuration. They are running much better than they were. I'll give you that little bit of hint, and you will see the results today or tomorrow. I think technically today we have another interview with Ergo Pad coming out instead of that, because I have the interview at 2 o'clock, and I may edit that first and then edit the vlog. We also have a vlog of moving 1660 Supers in to a Octominer case and moving the open air 3070 rigs into Octominer. So we're basically, I'm going in, I'm recording temperatures, that sort of stuff on the vlog. We're moving everything over to an Octominer. We're getting it configured, getting the Octominer in, and then basically showing you guys what the results were. That is pretty much how we're doing. Kevin Smith says, Ask Summitech, I know you're against buying crypto. That said, if one became unprofitable, would it make more sense to turn off and spend the would-be electricity funds on buying the coin directly, not financial advice? No, I don't think that really ends up playing a factor, because obviously, like I've said, in the position I'm in right now, if I buy crypto, I can't guarantee that I can hold on to that crypto. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? So you're in a position where, you know, if I took the money to buy crypto and the family needs the money, then I just have to pull it out at a loss. I just end up like Elon Musk is all that really happens there. And Tesla. That's like Elon Musk and Tesla is proof that buying and hodling doesn't work, because when you need the cash flow, you need the cash flow and you have to sell it at a loss. If anything, Elon proved that. Texas Ace says, Ask Son of a Tech, on the Texas power fees, I'm in Texas. You have a 5-year contract at 7.8 cents kilowatt hour plus delivery fee. Therefore, thus far, I have not noticed a large fees on my bill. That's good. Let me know. Actually, you can hit me up maybe on Twitter or something, and we can talk about it. Because I'm supposed to have what I like. Obviously, we discussed it, but it's not working out that way. They're saying it's a pass-through cost. Toby says, Ask Summitech, how is the tax event on mining income against buying income? Benefits for mining and holding. That's all going to depend on your location too, to a certain extent, your geographical location. And you do need to get like a CPA or something. So this wouldn't be financial advice, and I'm not a tax attorney or a CPA, so I don't know everything. And I have people that help me out with that, to be clear. But if you're mining, typically you're paying a mining income, right? So you'll pay 15% or up to like whatever, like 15 to 30%, depending on like whatever, the amount or whatnot. But you'll pay income tax on the day you mined it. I think money going in doesn't cost anything. So technically, yes, from that perspective, you do get a benefit. However, you do still get the write-offs for buying the mining equipment. So it all depends at what scale you're buying and holding, and at what scale you're buying miners and mining, right? And then specific different regions. Now, when you sell your mining income too, if the price went up, then you're going to basically pay the capital gains. And depending on how long you sold it, you'll pay those capital gains at a different rate, right? But that also happens when you buy. So you buy, and then if you sell it, you either get the capital loss or the capital gains. Greza, thanks for sending the info. And Miller Mining Company says, Ask Summitech, any final hash rate migration test plans for before September? No. First of all, we didn't get enough participants. That does make me think that there aren't as many GPU hobbyist miners out there, and I think we're losing more and more as we get closer and closer. More people are shutting off. The good news there is that these smaller coins are probably going to have more of a fighting chance with proper price discovery. And it does mean that the large firms are probably running ASICs, meaning that the competition for that should all flow into Ethereum Classic. Now, depending on how Ethereum Classic functions when that happens, it should be either really positive for the smaller miners, in which case you have basically another Ethereum to mine, or it'll be positive in the fact that Ethereum Classic will dump, those companies will go out of business, and you just end up with basically a bunch of small coins to start out on again, right? I'm still about hodling silicon. Like, even if I have to turn it off, I still hold it. Like, I'm not going to get rid of it. Yes. Hold on to it and try to generate revenue. Thanks everybody for watching today and hanging out. I'm going to get to jujitsu. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell down below to be notified when we go live. Apparently notifications aren't working reliably is some of the information I'm getting. So if you are here, just go ahead and set a calendar reminder and say, hey, yo, Son of a Tech goes live every Monday, 9:45 a.m. Central to 10:45 a.m. Central, and I will be there. You can do it that way until hopefully some of this shit gets figured out as far as that is concerned. I will keep you guys up to date on what happens with the power company, as well as what happens with the farm and where I have to shift and go to, as far as all that is concerned. As Fried Electronics, that's why I say see you next Tuesday. Well, obviously because it's funny. And my dad used to say it before, and he didn't know what it meant, which was really hilarious. So it just goes with the whole Son of a Tech thing. What I do. It's my shtick. Like, what's up, sons? All right. Have a good one, guys.